Hello Cinnamon Bun, welcome back to my journal and me. It is the middle of the night, it's the middle of my cycle, it's the full moon, so I've got that raking around hyped in the middle of the night energy. So I thought I'd record this voiceover. I've got a cup of decaf tea with some sugar. And yeah, we're just going to be setting up my journal for a month, a cycle. I do mine by cycle if you're new here. So this setup will cover parts of December and parts of January. So I'm just going to be chatting in this video. I'm not really going to go into detail on my planning process or what I'm doing because it's basically the same that I've been doing for a while now. But if you are new or you're interested in like the step-by-step of how I actually go about planning and my process, I will refer you to my early autumn in my bullet journal video, the one that has cyclical routines on the thumbnail. I go into a lot more detail and like list out all the steps in that. And if you're interested in the constellation system, which is my kind of dividing my life into 6 different domains with fancy Latin names, I have an hour-long chat all about that on my Patreon in the Clubhouse if you want more details about that too. But with that out of the way, let's get into the video. So hi, how are we doing? To be honest, my December and January thus far has been a bit of a bumpy ride, a bit rocky at points. Where do I even begin? I mean, there's been some good points, there's been some nice stuff, but it's just been very high-low, to be honest. Part of the reason for that, and part of the reason that I am recording this voiceover a full week after shooting this setup, is that I got sick. I got, again, something that seems very COVID-like, and I did a bunch of tests and they all came back negative. So, that was stressful. I self-isolated, even though I technically didn't need to because I was testing negative, but I just wouldn't have been able to live with myself if I'd gone about my business. Normally it just felt like it was too similar to COVID to risk it, so I self-isolated and it fucking sucked, and I am still kind of recovering from that. So that's been my most recent chat, to be honest. I also is it time for a midnight confession? I told myself that I was going to stop starting filming new videos when I haven't finished editing and putting out existing ones that I've got in progress. I literally made this rule for myself, or told myself last month that I was going to make sure that I was doing that or not doing that. And I've fucking done it again. I'm working on 3 videos simultaneously, and I just know that it just makes them all go slower, and I'm impatient and I don't like working that way, but I've fucking done it again. And I filmed a vlog. I filmed a vlog during the period that I was self-isolating again, and I just can't decide if it's worth editing or not. So I don't know, I'm maybe kind of interested to hear what you think, because I mainly started filming it because I was frustrated and struggling to get things done, and I know that having a vlog to kind of vent to or like talk things through with helps me, and the process of making a vlog can help me get things done, and it helps me sometimes understand what I'm going through. And it also is like a weirdly good way of like chunking down time again, because once I decide on like what the kind of motive goal or the quest of the vlog, or what I'm trying to achieve in the vlog, like what the story of it's going to be, then it makes me live my life in a slightly different way, where I'm paying attention in the back of my mind to where I am in the story of that. And so it can make certain experiences feel like it almost gives closure, because once I feel like I've come to the end of a vlog and I've finished filming it, I'm like, oh right, okay, I get to kind of wrap that little period of my life up in a bow and feel like I've moved on to something else. And that seemed useful. So I started filming this vlog and I ended up with a ton of footage. So I think it would be a big edit. And I just don't... So like, it did come to something, you know. A lot of my vlogs of slightly more difficult times in my life have like some kind of like midnight epiphany where things start to turn around and I realize something or have an insight that helps me shift things and move forward and hopefully end on a lighter note. And that did happen in this vlog. It wasn't anything earth-shattering or groundbreaking, but there is some like thoughts and chat in it that I feel like are worth turning into something. I just don't know if the juice is worth the squeeze. And I also, there is a part of me that's like, I don't want to put out another fucking vlog about the pandemic. Like, I just don't. I'm just sick of it. And I just worry that everyone else is sick of it as well. You know, there's part of me that's like, maybe this would be, you know, valuable to people who are also sick of it, but are also still dealing with pandemic stuff. But at the same time, I was thinking about, you know, what would the title be? What would the thumbnail be? And like, just, do I want another video on that topic? Do I think it's worth doing? Does anyone want to fucking see that again? Which is just mirroring like how I think a lot of us are feeling about things, right? Like, it made me think about like pandemic content and how strange it is to have made some of that and, you know, consumed a fair amount of it. And how in some times experiencing, watching, listening, you know, hearing other people's experiences of the pandemic has been like life-giving, you know. It really resonates. It really feels like an outlet for all the frustrations and grief of it all. You know, they feel really essential. And then other times I'm like, God, the last thing I want is to hear anyone mention the fucking word COVID, you know. And it's something strange as well about like, you can still see, you know, content, art, entertainment about like from really early in the pandemic where we just had no idea what was coming, and it's like the dramatic irony now of listening to those things is just like almost too much to bear. Like, we're just different people. And so yeah, I mean, I guess that's just kind of like the dilemma of like making content or art or expression that isn't evergreen, right? Stuff that's like of the moment, of the time, about the specific frustrations of the time. It's going to then have a different relationship with time. But yeah, I don't know. I've just been kind of struggling with that. I'm also thinking maybe I just can't face editing it right now, having just experienced it. Maybe it needs some time. I always with vlogs get this urge like I need to release them as soon after they were filmed as possible, because otherwise it's like just reflecting a period in my life that has kind of disappeared, and it's like a weird lag. But like, I know that that's not how you guys experience these videos, so maybe it doesn't matter. I don't know. Anyway, that's me just like thinking aloud for a bit about that. But I guess let me know. Do you want to see another vlog of a kind of not so great time I was having and how I dragged myself through it? Or would you rather I just boxed it? Or would I rather I just boxed it and was like, you know what, it gave me an outlet at the time, it was helpful to film it, but I think I'm just gonna put this in storage and move on to something more fun, maybe? I don't know. And that is most of my chat, really, honestly, which doesn't make for a great voiceover, but that's just been my life, unfortunately. I've just been spending way more time than I would like at home, which has been not super enjoyable. But I'm gonna finally get to go back to the office tomorrow, which I'm really looking forward to. And two wee things of note, I guess, that I can talk about that both happened before I got sick. I went straight from my period into being sick as well, fuck's sake. Anyway, two wee things. Yeah, so I finally cleared out and con-married my altar space, which I have been saying I'm going to do for like a year, maybe a year and a half, maybe 2 years, who knows. But it was really frustrating me, and it was basically non-functional, non-usable. And so I just spent like an entire day clearing that all out and reorganizing it and setting it up. And it got me really excited for doing more witchy stuff more regularly. I've got like a new candle dedicated to my guides, and I'll be doing more of that and stuff, so that's been really cool. The slightly less silver lining-y part of that is that I finally got a stool for my altar, which I've been wanting for ages, so that I can actually sit at it as well as stand. And again, been thinking about getting this stool for 2 years. Finally got it, built it, spent a good chunk of money on it, and realised it doesn't fucking fit. There's no way to sit comfortably in it, even though it's adjustable at that altar, so I don't know, I'm gonna have to return it or something. I don't even know if I can unbuild it. It seems kinda... Anyway. Yeah, that's annoying, but I've got my altar space back, so that's exciting. The other thing is that I played a one-off TTRPG with my Stillfleet group called Hunting Billionaires for Sport, and it was really fun, but the most notable thing for me was that I basically had like a day, because I'd left it really late, to like create a character, and as I was reading like the lore and stuff of the game, I was like, oh shit, my character Flux from my novel State of Flux would fit perfectly into this world, actually. So I'm just gonna play her. So that was wild. It was really fun. I basically created a character sheet for a character that I created over a decade ago and got to play as her in a game and murder a billionaire. So just good times all round, really, with that. And that's it. This was my final setup for the cycle. That's it for this video. Couple wee things to remind you of. Firstly, if everything goes to plan, the Story Magic Academy, which is my big course on crafting good plots and stories, will be reopening in March. It only opens twice a year, so keep an eye out for that if you've been thinking about joining. And I have a wee workshop on how I vlog and my kind of philosophy when it comes to vlogging and the gear that I use and stuff. And that is up for free on my website. So you can grab that at the link that I'm showing on screen, which I can't remember off the top of my head right now. Okay, that's it. Take care of yourself, please, for me, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.